going to do another composition of functions example, and this one we're going to look at what happens when one of the functions isn't linear, because I think this is where a lot of students are kind of getting hung up, because that means you're trying to like combine two things that the curriculum thinks you saw in Algebra 1. And if you took Algebra 1 with me, I promise you we did at least see each of these things in Algebra 1, but they may not have really stuck in your brain yet. And so trying to put them both together at once, a lot of you are kind of not able to keep it all in your head at once. So we're going to look at what happens if we have a function like f of x is equal to x plus 7. Ooh, hey, I like that one. That one's really not bad. I like functions like f of 7. But here comes along g of x to ruin the party. G of x is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 5. Because in Algebra 2, we assume you're comfortable with quadratics, that you spent some serious time with them in Algebra 1. And in reality, that's probably not true for some of you, and that's okay. But it means you're going to kind of need to check in with me and ask more questions in Algebra 2 so that you can get that extra help with quadratics that this curriculum, the people who wrote it, they assumed that happened before. And I know that isn't actually true for a lot of you. So we're going to do these extra videos and you're going to ask for extra help and we're going to fix it that way. So let's look at f of g of x. Well, that's f of this whole thing. X squared plus 2x plus 5. So I go through my f of x. Everywhere I see an x, it's this whole thing. So it's x squared plus 2x plus 5, replacing that x, and plus 7 because of the plus 7. Oh, wow, that wasn't too bad at all. X squared plus 2x plus 5 plus 7, x squared plus 2x. I combine my like terms. 5 plus 7 is 12. Oh, that wasn't so bad. All right, that's fine. Now we'll do g of f of x. So same idea. G of f of x. Look up here, my f of x is x plus 7. Oh, that's not too bad, just g of x plus 7. No big deal. So I go through g, and every time I see an x, I put in x plus 7. Oh, okay. X squared, so I better drop some parentheses around it. X plus 7 is my new x, plus 2, x plus 7 is my new x, plus 5, which is along for the ride. I like constant terms. They make me happy. I don't have to do a bunch of stuff with them. Okay, x plus 7. So there is a pattern for these, and I went over it in another video, but I think most Algebra 2 students aren't really comfortable with that pattern yet. So I'm going to expand this out so that I can think about it a little more easily. Then, just so I have less to do later, I'm going to go ahead and distribute this through. That means the 2 goes to the x, the 2 goes to the 7. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 7 is 14, and the 5 is still along for the ride. Okay, now I need to distribute this through. And if this part doesn't seem familiar for you, I did make another video about it, because this is something that a lot of students struggle with because they don't really feel comfortable with it from Algebra 1 yet. You have to distribute each term here into each term here. So x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. 7 times x, also 7x. 7 times 7 is 49. This stuff, let's see here, 2x. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and combine that 14 and 5. That's 19. That's less to write down next time. So now I've got enough terms here that my brain's kind of going, this is hard. There's a lot of stuff. If your brain's going, this is fine, I got it, you don't need to use the strategy I'm about to use. but I'm going to use an organizational strategy to keep track of my terms. All of my squared terms, I'm putting boxes around. All of my linear terms, all of my first power terms, I am circling. And all of my constant terms, I'm underlining. You do not have to do this. If you can keep it in your head, that's fine. But if you find yourself getting disorganized, this is a great strategy. So I go through, I collect all my squares. Well, I've only got one, x squared. Now I can go through and I can just focus on my x's. 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 2 more is 16. And that way I know I've got all my x's because I did all of my circles. Then I look at my underlines, and I've got 49 plus 19. I could use some kind of math strategy for that, or I could use a calculator. I'm going to use a calculator. If you have a math strategy, I can think of several, but it's also okay in this class if you're like, you know what, I'm a calculator person for that one. And the answer is 68. So g of f of x had a few more steps to it, but I did get to an answer. And as was true before, f of g of x and g of f of x were not the same thing. So it's important to think about which one you're actually doing.